Low center. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Truth Talk Patent Pending. Got myself, Joe Jarvis, and my amazing co-host, Mr. Alex Zach.
So,
Alex, tell me, enlighten the viewers. What are we speaking about today?
so today we're going to be talking about, how we got into business and what are some things, just basically how we got into business and what our story is, right? So, yeah. So I guess I'll ask you first, how did you get into business and building your agency?
How did I get into business? All right, I'll keep it kind of short, and then I guess we can go from there. I mean, it's not a super crazy story. I mean, it's probably pretty standard. I don't know, bro. I mean, we went to the same high school, obviously, so you know what that was like.
Yeah.
And it was, okay. So I read this book by Tim Ferriss. It's called The 4 Hour Work Week. You might have heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thumbing through this. It was like winter break of 2021. So we were on like winter break from school. I was reading this and I had like this amazing idea of like, bro, I'm gonna print some cash online. Like I'm gonna make an online business. So you probably remember this. My initial idea was to make like fitness info products, essentially, like teach people like my workout program. Because people were always asking me, you know what I mean? I'm a jacked, handsome male. So of course everybody was like, Joe, don't laugh.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
Okay. Okay, Joe.
So of course everybody's like, bro, like what's your workout program? You know, people were like asking me that. So I was like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna put this in a Google Doc. I'm gonna peddle this thing on the internet. I'm just gonna buy some Facebook ads, bro. We're up and running, bro. Like we're gonna be printing, baby. So, anyways, do that. Nothing. Don't get any sales. Kind of wasted like 4 months on it, honestly. Like just like trying stuff. It didn't
Yeah.
work. But I learned from it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a complete failure. A bunch of stuff led to one another. Basically, thought that like, maybe the reason that I'm not selling this is because I don't like the marketing around it isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of true. I was focusing on the wrong mechanism. Don't have to go too much into that. It's not really relevant, but basically kind of started learning more about marketing side of things on like how to sell it, in particular sell info products. That's kind of important. And then yeah, basically one thing led to another, kind of went down some like random paths, and you know what I mean? It was not a linear path, but basically kind of ended up at like the learning the skill of how to market info because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a long circular path, but I'm kind of ended up at that point. And then now I'm at the point where like my market is pretty much like helping, ironically enough, helping people that sell fitness info. I mean, that's not the only one that I work with. You know, I'm open to working with other niches, but the one major guy that I'm working with right now is a fitness coach, and I basically help him sell information in the exact same way that I tried to do it. So it's a very full circle moment.
So why don't you go back and try to sell your fitness products?
I've thought about it. Honestly, I have. I mean, it's just like if you would do it, it's like you would either have to do it on like paid traffic or you'd have to do it on organics. So it's like, do I really want to build an entire brand around like the fitness thing and like here's how to get in shape? It's like not really. It's not really. It's just not what I want to do. No disrespect if that's what you want to do. Like anybody watching this, like that's a
I don't think
valid.
anyone took disrespect to that.
Well, bro, like I mean, like taking something you have expertise in and like building a brand around that and then like selling a product like an info product around like that's a valid thing that you can do. I've got no problems with that. It's just not what I want to do. Like
Yeah.
that's not my thing. So then it's like then you would kind of have to do it with like paid traffic. But then as we've talked about before, it's like I really don't think that in like sophisticated markets, purely cold paid traffic works. I think you need to have some sort of like brand mechanism for people to see like, okay, this isn't actually real person. So then you kind of go back to the other one and it's like, do you really want to have a brand as like a fitness guy? So it's kind of the logic behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool story. Getting into
Cool story, bro.
It is a cool story. I mean, not very many people can say that they a lot of people come up to them asking them for their fitness packet, what they do to work out.
14
Anyway,
year old Joe Jarvis. You know what I mean?
yeah. So my story, I mean, I guess I've always wanted to make money since I was little, right? I
Of
mean, I
course.
could take this
You
as
don't
far back
say.
as elementary school, but
As a
because
young
like
fetus
I'm
in the
not,
womb,
I'm not
Alex
even kidding.
Alex wanted
I
that
used to
that cash.
I used to so I have a pecan tree outside my house, right? So I used to pick all of the pecans up and then sell them at school for like 50 cents each. And the thing that I would do was I'd make it like organic, right? I would sell it like at this organic thing, right? Because I wouldn't break the shell, right? So they would still be in the shell and I would make people crack them on their own. So that way they were like, oh, this is like organic, this is like super cool. Like and for some reason that worked. And I end up making like $60 or something, and then someone stole all of it. But we don't talk about that part, okay? Um, but yeah.
Bro, yeah, I've got something just like that.
But anyway, I used to do stuff like that, and then like I'd move on to like fifth grade. I would start selling gum, and I made like a good amount of
Bro,
money
didn't
selling
didn't
gum
everybody sell gum?
at some point. I mean, gum is like super
Yeah,
like
bro. Didn't
easy.
everybody? Bro, my
Yeah,
brother like sells gum and he's like telling me that he's like just peddling this shit to the
yeah.
students,
I mean,
bro. Like
it makes
telling
sense. It's
me,
like super
yeah.
easy. And then so I guess you could say middle school, like I don't know, in middle school kind of just worked on some stuff. And I've always been interested in trying to see if I can make money like online, right? Uh, but I guess like the first thing that I checked online is I was like, I kind of wanted just something I could do that would like guarantee me money like online, like a job that I could just do from home whenever I wanted. So I looked into like, I don't know if you've ever looked into this, but like there's like these like you can caption videos and they'll pay you money to do it, right? Like
Like
better like
audio
the same as like
transcription.
yeah, but like the same as like um whatever it is, like a regular like job at like McDonald's, right? Like same sort of pricing, but you could like pick the projects and you basically decide how much time you spend on them, right? And basically like I did all this process, this long thing, right?
Yeah.
And I got on a thing and it was like basically impossible to get a project. Like it was literally like you had to be like on your screen waiting for like someone to put up a project and then you had to click it and like beat someone else out. It was like it was basically
Beat some
impossible.
9-year-old from like Pakistan.
Exactly. It's like you couldn't win, right? So I mean I always been looking at stuff like that, right? And then I tried e-commerce, right? I mean, I wasn't very good at it. I mean,
Wait, hang
I'll be
on.
honest, I never really dedicated myself to it. I try to sell like t-shirts and
Wait,
stuff. Yeah.
how does that actually work? Like when you try to get into e-commerce? Because
Yes.
obviously you weren't actually starting like an actual brand. Was it more
No.
like a drop shipping type of thing where it's like
Yeah,
third
more like
party
drop shipping.
logistics?
More like drop
Okay.
shipping. But I came up with my own designs for t-shirts and it was all like fitness related stuff and like just stuff that was like trending at the
How
time.
are you like driving traffic though?
I mean, I wouldn't even like I would have it on like Shopify or one of these sites, right? And then I would just have it up there. And we would just try to sell it to people that we knew first and we never like it never like got around to getting out. So we just like kind of left it aside because I was doing this with one other friend and we just decided that it wasn't I mean we didn't really have the time because we were in school, right? And then it was like something that was like kind of pushed to a side. But I had always like wanted to do something online, right? And that's like when I came across like on YouTube, like probably a little bit after this, I came across the agency thing, right? And I'm like, oh, this is awesome, right? Like I'm watching some people cold call, I'm watching some people
Wait,
do
and
this.
did you watch an Iman Gadzhi video?
No, I didn't. I watched this guy, Thomas Garnett.
Oh yeah.
He's the first person that I watched do agency videos. And I watched him close the sales call and I watched him do cold calls. And I was just like, this is super cool. Like I want to do this. And then I never like and that happens with a lot of things, right? I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like I kind of want to get into this, right? I kind of want to get into this. And I never really like took that step, right? But with this, I ran into my friend and he was telling me about how he just like literally I picked him up to go to soccer practice, right? And as I'm driving, he's telling me like, "Oh, I closed my first deal today or whatever." I'm like, "What?" Like because I was like, what are you talking about? I closed my first deal today, right?" He's like, "Oh, it's just a free trial, but like blah blah." And I'm like,
Some
"Wait,
trash
what are you
personal
talking about?"
training
And y'all
package.
can look him up. His name's Andreas, right? He's on YouTube, and I'm working on a new agency with him now. But basically, he was like, "Oh yeah, you need to get into this. Like this is like where it's at. Like I'm doing fitness trainers. I'm helping them grow their social media and grow their brand and I'm getting them more deals and I'm like well what are you talking about like I was like there's no way that he's doing the same thing right And then like a couple days later, he joins like this club, or he told me about this club that he joined basically to get into it, right?
Cult.
Kind of like a cult, I guess. I don't know. It just helped you get started. And like a few days,
How's
like a week later,
yeah.
I got into it, and I was just like working on it. And then probably like a week after getting into the thing, I got my first free shot client. So that was like it was like that quick. Like I was like this. And then me and him partnered up for our fitness agency. Um, yeah, so that's kind of my story on how I got into it. And then, just
Origin
like as
story.
things pass, I've gone into real estate, which is what I've kind of been wanting to do since the beginning. But real estate is something you need a little bit more experience for. So that's why I started with fitness trainers and also soccer coaches. So, yeah, that's kind of my story. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting story. But I'm pretty sure, like everyone else, I think that the key thing is just like you just gotta take action. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like they're like, oh, that's really cool. Like I would love to do that, but I mean, there's no place for me to start. You just have to start. I feel like at least that's what for me.
Yeah.
You just have to get into it. Any
Yeah.
tips on
I think I
starting?
started on just starting.
Yeah, or just anything.
I
Like, what
want
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like you said, you sold like pecans when you were like a
Yes,
kid.
yes.
Dude, my first business, dude, you can actually if you Google like Joe like trash can or something like that,
Joe trash
like
can.
no, you'll find like these news articles. I was like 5 years old. Bro, my mom went ham on the media coverage of this. And you can find like multiple like news stories, like these like clips of like young entrepreneur Joe Jarvis and blah 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 blah. And I was like basically just like pulling out my neighbor's trash cans for like I think it was like 50 cents each.
Really?
I had like a roster. Bro, I was like 4 years old making like $25 a month. Like like a baller, bro. I was buying so many Lego sets, bro. That's a lot of Lego sets for a little kid.
I used to go crazy on the lemonade stands. Lemonade stands would carry. I would scam people so hard. They would be like, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's $1 for like one of those like Dixie cups, the ones that are like super small. It's literally like like that, and you're done. And then they would be like, oh here you can take a 20, and I'm like, do you want the change in time? And they're like, yeah, bro. So many of the people just gave me a 20 and I just kept it. But yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
remember
take this
that.
out of context and be like, no, nobody buy anything from Alex.
Yeah, no.
It's just a
But that was when I
soundbite of
was like,
Alex.
I'd be like, I don't know how old, like elementary school, like kindergarten. And I'm over here like, get your lemonade. But yeah, dude, that reminds me. We made like I made a lot of money. One of the lemonade stands I made probably made like $100. Like those are crazy.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I think I sold like, but I sold like spy pens in elementary school. Like the pens where you write it, it's like invisible ink, and then you like shine like UV rays on it and it lights
Yeah.
up. I used to sell those. I think my operation got like shut down, bro. There was like a sting operation by the administration there. They
Yeah.
shut me down. They shut me down. They were like, this kid's balling out too much. Everybody's writing in invisible ink. No, no more, no mas.
No more.
So that got shut down. Obviously, I sold gum in middle school,
Mhm.
like everybody. You know what I mean? Hustling. I don't know, but I feel like everybody had like those like random, just like steal some shit from your parents, then like resell it at school archetype
I
business
mean, I don't
models.
know about stealing. They knew about it.
Not like steal, but like I would just go into the pantry. My mom would just like buy packs of gum. I would just take one and just sell it
Yeah.
for like $10.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
Alex,
yes.
what advice would you give to somebody that's just starting out that was in your position when you were starting?
What advice would I give to my younger self?
Yeah, like when you were just
Uh,
starting.
I just wish I would have started earlier, like making two, actually two things for sure. I wish I would have gotten into something and just stuck with it. Like if I had gotten into like, I mean, whatever it was at the point, like I'd also gotten into NFTs, Like I was big on the NFT. I wanted to make my own NFT. And
Dude,
I did start on that, and like I never got it. Like all the trends, like I'm one of those people, and I know a lot of people who like will watch this or have watched this. Like they know like what I'm talking about. Like you would just bounce around all the trends. Like you see NFTs, you're like, like I bought two NFTs and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make so much money. Both of them flopped. And then I was like, I'm like, I need to get into this, right? But like I never like dedicated the time or like
wait,
the
wait.
effort to like actually get good
You
at something. Yeah.
remember in like freshman year when I think it was like us and like one other friend, you know what I'm talking about, was
Mhm.
like, bro, we need to like buy these
Oh
NFTs. We're gonna
yeah.
flip them. Do you remember that? They were
Yeah.
like, we're all
We
gonna
made a
pool our
Discord group.
capital. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna get rich. And I told my mom about it. My mom was like, you are not using any of your money on this.
Yeah.
Do not
No, I
like
mean,
I was banned.
well, the thing is, because like one of our friends that his brother made like, I mean, I don't want to disclose the figure, but it was like six
Just
figures.
say it, bro. He's
It,
anonymous.
he made like 500K off of
Is that
NFTs.
verified though, bro? I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's in Ethereum though, so now it's like not as much, but still,
Yeah,
it's
bro. Did it all like tank?
yeah. I mean, it's still like he still
Did he
probably
lose like
has like
80%?
yeah, he probably lost like around 80, like, not 80%, like probably like 70% because it was like 4K and then it dropped down to like it's let's see what Ethereum's at now. Ethereum price. Oh, it's not that it's 2.2K. That's not horrible considering it was
Just
at like
dropped like
1K.
50%.
Yeah, I mean that's still not the best, but he's not gonna take it out because he doesn't want taxes on it. So I mean, yeah. I mean, and also like now that NFT stuff is like is over with, like I feel like there's nobody that's doing that anymore. But I mean,
Nobody's stupid enough to buy that.
well, I mean, it was a good idea if they would have done it with like video games. Like
What do you
if you
mean?
would have done like it's super cool idea if you do it for video games. Like imagine like you're playing like Fortnite and like the skin that you have is a unique token that you can sell to someone else. Like that's like I
Do you
see
do
the
that a lot?
possibility there.
You play a
Huh?
lot of Fortnite?
Not anymore. Not as much as I used
You
to.
sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that. Yes. Yes.
What's your game of choice these days?
Game of choice, probably like League of Legends. Or like, I mean, I guess
I've
Fortnite's on
never
there.
played League of Legends ever
Yeah, it's a
in
game
my
that's
life.
you probably shouldn't get into. Yeah, no, but what were we talking about?
Talking about origin stories.
Yeah, I know, but like, I was oh yeah, Ethereum. Yeah, how like I see the
You were
possibility with
talking.
that.
I was talking about NFTs, and I was talking about how we were all going to get together and blow all our
Yeah,
money on some trash NFT.
NFT. No, but like, I feel like okay, let's just go back to the younger advice, the younger self
Yeah,
advice.
yeah,
Two things. One, if you're gonna just do something, stick to it. Like just stick to that and like go through with it. Cause like you can do it, you just haven't put in the time. You have to put in the time. And then the second thing would be to just like I would just start like recording stuff and like putting content up. Cause if I had been uploading like even like a couple YouTube videos like a month by this point, like it would be like crazy, like the amount of growth that I would have, like just from being on there so long and just being consistent with it. Like it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. It's just consistency. But yeah, what would you say to your advice to your younger self?
advice to my younger self. I'll try to make it broad enough to be useful for somebody like other than me, but also try to make it specific enough so it's not just like, oh, like work hard and all that. I'd say immediately, I would say passive income's a myth. Don't focus on leverage. Don't focus on any of that stuff. Literally just focus on making some amount of money. Um, leverage is largely a luxury that you get after you are proficient at what you do. I would also say just get into a service-based business model where the service that you provide is as close as possible to the point of sale. And I think those are probably the biggest things. I mean, from there, it's like all the basic stuff, right? Then it's just
Yeah.
like learn skills, be
Well, yeah.
disciplined,
Okay.
don't be
Because like
lazy.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
basic stuff, but with like
but like,
character.
because I can see my younger self, like I can see there's kids probably like in eighth grade right now who like the same like mindset as me who are like, I really want to get into this, but like I don't even know where to start. And like that's like the main like thing holding them back. Like the exact like I know that they've seen like if they were to just like get into SMMA or get into e-commerce and actually try it, actually dedicate themselves, I know they could be successful. Like it's not that difficult. It's just you have to dedicate yourself and you get the time. Like I know it's like that might not be like the best message, like, oh, it's not that difficult. I mean, it is going to be difficult, but like if you dedicate yourself and you give it the time that it like requires, like you get home, you if you play a sport, you do your sport and then you do your homework, and then all the rest of the time just dedicated to that. Like that's what I would have
You go
done.
to school, play your sport, get
And then
home, do your homework, eat your dinner, take a shower, and then in those last 30 minutes of the day, you can go ham on the YouTube tutorials.
no, think
Yeah,
about it
I
like this.
think
This is what I would do. Like, okay, this would be my schedule, right? I would wake up, go to school, right? Whatever, do school, come out of school. Right after school, I would have practice, boom, 4:30 to 6 or 4:30 to 7, actually. 7, boom, I get home at like 7:20 or whatever, finish my homework, be done by 8. You literally have like if you don't have if you have a lot of homework, 8:30, let's just say 8:30, boom, 8:30 to 10, that's like an hour and a half of work every day, at least. Probably
yeah.
more if you think about it. Because I go to bed at 11 every day. So I'm working till 11. I don't know about you, but I'm like more productive at night. I don't know what it is. Like from 9 to 11, I'm just crazy. Like I'm really good at working. Like I can do everything. But and then also this other hack, I just want to share this because it's actually been working for me. I don't know about if you're like a procrastinator, like I procrastinate a lot sometimes. This works for me. I set a timer on my phone when I want something done, and then like I just look at that timer whenever like I'm like whenever I like okay, I have to finish this right now, right? I have to edit this video, right? I set a timer like a 30-minute timer on my phone, right? I'm just like boom, 30-minute timer. And if I don't finish it in that time, like I don't know, my procrastination mind like sets in. I'm like, oh, the timer's about to run out. Like I have to finish it before that time. I don't know. That's like something that helps with me. I
Yeah.
did that
I
yesterday like
like
four
that.
times.
I like that. So going off on that note on
Mhm.
like productivity, um, that helps with me because it's like because you can manipulate that two ways. You can manipulate the time, and because
Mhm.
basically like the thing with like a flow state, like there's a bunch of different like triggers for it where it's like you're extremely productive. Um, you know what I mean? Like basically the definition of flow state is like where one action seamlessly leads to the next action. So you're editing it, you need one thing, you go over there, then you drag it back in, and then on and on. And it's just a seamless state of productivity and you can manipulate that using time. So with tasks that you find extremely difficult and
Mhm.
annoying and arduous and whatever, you set a way longer time than you think it'll take.
Yeah.
So if you're like doing some task that is completely overwhelming for you, then you can set a 2-hour timer to complete a very simple task. Or if you're doing something that's a very simple task, but you find it like boring just because you know how to do it, but you just don't want to do it, like I don't know, whatever, fill in the blank there. Then you
Yeah.
would like set a timer that's like too short. So then the game is like seeing if you can do it faster. So basically like gamifies it both ways.
Yeah.
I
I
found
mean,
that.
for me, it's kind of like the tasks that I feel like will be very hard are like a lot easier than I think a lot of times. Like if I'm like, oh, I have this like whatever it may be, right? Like I had this physics assignment, like I don't want to do this, right? Like it's gonna be really difficult. Like I just set myself a 30-minute timer to get it done before we start recording the podcast. Right. I got it done. Like stuff like
Physics
that
is
where
such a
like you
trash subject.
yeah, I don't like physics, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm taking physics, but anyway, just like the idea of like you can like control like when you get stuff done. But that I feel like we should add this into another podcast because it's some good stuff here. Um,
Yeah, it's a
but
good
yeah,
topic.
it's a good
You want to
topic for
roll that
another
over into
podcast.
another podcast on
Yeah, I
productivity?
think we should definitely roll that over into another podcast. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just going back to like origin advice to our younger selves, right? I mean, obviously, right now it's not too late for us. We're still 17, or I'm 17, you're 16, right? So we're
Yeah.
still we're still super young. So we have a lot. Obviously, we're still starting early if we start now. So
Bro,
it's
you're about to get so much heat in the comment section because everybody's like, no way, Joe's 16. He looks like he's 38 trying to mortgage his
yeah,
kids.
yeah, yeah, I know. But I mean, if you're, I mean, I'm just saying, like at 16 and 17, like we're still like pretty young, so we still have a
Bro,
lot of way to go,
I'm
right?
scared to turn 17.
17 is
Like when
not
I
as
turn
scary.
17,
18
I'm
is
gonna
gonna be
be like,
scary, but
when I
17
turn
is still kind of crazy.
17, I'm gonna be like, damn, dude, like I'm getting old.
I don't think 17 is set in yet. 17 is like that's crazy. Like 18 is gonna be like insane though. Like that's like when you're like, okay, yeah,
Bro.
now you're
As soon as
like
I
now
turn
you got
18, I'm
responsibilities.
running up. As soon as I turn 18, bro, I'm running up some big boy bags in like Asia or something. I'm moving to
Hey,
Asia. I
Thailand.
don't, yeah, bro. Going to
All
Thailand.
right.
Yo, bro, you can get like hostels there for like $1 a night. Like just gonna
Yeah.
run that shit till the wheels fall off.
So, okay, any last words for your younger self?
Last, is that a threat?
No. Any last words for the end of this podcast?
Um, last words to the final end of this podcast. Um, uh, say I'd say ultimately, bro, like if you're gonna make it, like you're gonna figure out a way because it's kind of hard to find like a pithy way to say like do this if you're just starting out, you want to be successful because obviously there's a million things and each person's circumstances are so nuanced that it's like there's no way that I can just say start this business model and do this and send this outreach message and then get on the call with this person, say these words, collect the money, and then scale doing this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Just because like what everybody does is unique. But I would just say that like the winners are gonna win and the losers are gonna lose. So it's
That's
like
harsh.
if
That's hard.
you did
Okay,
you
keep
take
going, keep
offense to that?
going. No,
Did you
I
take
don't take
offense to
offense to
that?
that. I'm just saying, like, imagine like a seventh grader listening to this. The winners are gonna the winners are gonna win, the losers are gonna lose. That's a bit rough. It's that's
Okay,
crazy.
okay.
Anyway,
You're
keep
either
going, keep going.
listening to this and you're like, yeah, I'm the winner, and basically what I mean by that is like, if you're cut out for it, you're going to figure out a way at each step in the process. Um, and if you're not cut for it, which is fine, by the way. I mean, it may not even be like you're not cut out to run a business. It might just be this particular model of it or this implementation of it isn't for you. In which case, that's fine because there's literally infinite things that you can do to pursue making money.
Mhm.
So that's fine. You know, yeah, I would say if you're cut out for it, you're gonna figure out a way to do pretty much anything,
Okay.
overcome any
My
obstacle
last
that
thing
comes along.
is literally what we've been talking about. Just find what you like and just do it. Just put the time in. That's it. That's literally it. If you put the time in, you're gonna be successful. I think it's
Yeah.
that easy.
What are your
Anything.
thoughts on like so you said find what you like. What are your thoughts on like basically like only do things, not only, but like pursue things that you like, pursue your passion, like things along those lines.
I think depends what your passion is, because like I don't. I wouldn't say I have like a passion that's like oh I mean I do have my passion would be to play soccer, but like I know it's like right now it's not realistic. Like just like I don't think it is realistic for it hasn't been for a while or not for a while, but like since like this last year probably. Um, like I probably anyway, I could probably play in college, but like apart from that, not the point. The point is like I think that yeah, I think your passion it can be helpful, but like my passion is making money. So like I feel like I feel like anything I can do, like if I'm making money, then I can like I'll be successful. I feel like I don't know. I mean, what is your take on it? Because mine varies depending on what it
I
is.
think I think that it's coherent if you're objectively good at what you do, then you'll probably figure out a way to monetize it. But
Mhm.
if you're trying to go for like a very clean business model where it's like you put in, you know, X and you get out Y dollars, probably not the best. I would say honestly, like take your passion and then figure out the best
Way to
way
monetize
that
it.
you could implement it like basically in the most monetized
But like
way.
when I say find what you like, I mean like look through like what, because a lot of times like what's trending, it may not be what you like, but like you end up doing
Yeah,
it and you like it. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
would say like find what business model fits your style. Like
correct.
everybody
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
has like a certain like
I agree
style and
with
like
that.
archetype that they kind of roll with. I would say for me, it's probably like
And
direct response style marketing.
and in each business type, there's different things that you can get good at in those types. Like if you're
Yeah,
doing SMMA, like you want to get good at sales, then do that. If you want to get good at running ads or doing the back end stuff, then do that. If you want to, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like right now, like I
Yeah,
feel like I kind of got caught in this trap where I'm kind of trying to build like this skill stack, right? Where like I do want to build the skill stack, but at the same time, I want to get really good at something, right? Like I'm like stuck in this trap where like I want to get good at cold calling, doing the back end, doing this, all this stuff, and like getting good at it, right? Like I'd probably be better than everyone else, like not than the pros though. Like I'll be better than the average person at it, but I'm not going to be better like than the best person at it. You know, that's the way
yeah.
of looking at it. Anyway, we're running out of time with this podcast. Any last words? Like right now, just quick. All
What I have to
right,
say.
all right. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe or drop a
Why do you
follow
always say
on if you're watching.
please?
I mean,
Just
if
tell them to
someone
subscribe.
drop a
Subscribe.
sub on the video, okay? Or drop a like on the video and
What's up,
subscribe.
YouTube?
All right. And also drop a follow on Rumble and Rumble the video. So, all right. Adios.